Hello, everyone. This is Par for the Discourse. It is September 12th, 2021. I am Erica, sitting here in my Brooklyn apartment, and this is Nicole, coming to us from Madrid, Spain. How are you, Nicole?
Good. How's it going?
It's going. It's going. It's going. So we were just talking before we started this week's recording, talking about what happened this week. And I had a girls' night out, which is something that you and I used to do a lot. Nicole and I go way back. We used to live here in New York together before she moved to Spain. I've been to Spain to visit. So we talk about times gone by. And we've been, kind of COVID related topics week to week. But so this week I got together with a friend who just got back from Greece. So she was gone for like 3 weeks. And I don't know if she took a week just to get home and make sure she was fine or whatever. But I reached out and she came and picked me up, which, let me tell you something right now with the trains flooding and the trains just being not as reliable as they used to be. The best way to get me out is to come pick me up in a car.
Yep.
So anyway, I was telling you before that we've been in this COVID lockdown, work from home, stay home is the safest life for now over a year. And when she came to pick me up, I had a hooded sweatshirt on, which we've talked about, our hooded sweatshirt uniforms that we've been wearing consistently. And I don't know, it was just me and my friend were going out. I was in my head, I was going to catch up with her and sit someplace and talk. I really wasn't thinking about going out, like getting dressed up. Also, I'm not single. I don't know. But
you want to do the cozy innerwear and take that everywhere. That's what you want to do.
Yeah. And she walked in and she told me to get my shit together and change my outfit because we weren't going to the corner store. And she was absolutely right. As I'm sitting here in like a t-shirt, she's right. I have been, I don't know if it's a sign of depression. I'm sure it has been depressing as much as we try to laugh about things and be optimistic. I love fashion, but I also love to be comfortable. And I don't know, I just think that I have really lost my pizzazz for, I have a whole closet full of clothes that just have been sitting there.
Yeah. So didn't that make you feel like a little spunky? I mean,
it's so funny. I've known her, I wouldn't say she's a close friend, but I do feel like when I met her and I kind of just clicked. So I felt she was comfortable enough to say that to me. And it reminded me of an old friend that of mine, Jeremiah, because he did that to me one time. I was moving out of Park Slope. Oh, no, I wasn't moving yet. Maybe I was, I don't remember what was going on, but he told me I was holding on to all these old clothes. I had all this stuff that didn't fit and I was hanging on to it. And he got a garbage bag and we just started throwing clothes out. And I thought wow, you can't do this with somebody that you're just kind of friendly with. You have to really, this is family. You need to throw this shit out. You need to get rid of this.
Get your shit together.
That's really what she said. She walked in and looked at me in the hooded sweatshirt. She's like, where do you think we're going?
Now, were you planning on doing socks and sandals with her, or what were you planning on doing? Or just
I had socks and sandals. I had these those harem pants, the baggy crotch pants.
You own those. I call those shitters.
Yeah, Ronnie hates those pants.
Yeah, we have a word for them in Spanish we made up. It's basically like shitters, it translates to, because the shit will just it looks like you're carrying
so comfortable.
No.
and a hooded sweatshirt, those pants and socks and these, athletic slides. And she just looked at me like, what?
It's sort of like Duder-esque. I don't know.
I don't know. I thought that, I don't know what I immediately agreed with her. I wasn't offended. She was right. I don't know what I was thinking. And I put another pair of black pants on that fit me much better, and a black top that was nice, like like a top I'd wear if I'm going out. And a pair, I still wore I wore the sandals, but I took the socks off because my pedicure still looks good.
Oh, okay.
So I wore it and I said, is it okay if I wear the sandals if I take the socks off? She goes, yeah, that's cute.
You ran it by her. You're like, is this okay?
I was like, how does this look? Is this better? She says it's better. It's an improvement. Let's go.
Okay.
And we had a really nice time. So anyways, that's something that I did this week. I have been, listen, like this very much suits my personality. I like going out with people one-on-one. I was afraid she was going to want to go to some party or something because it was a Thursday night. I thought, oh man, we're going to go to some like gallery show. Maybe that's why in my head, I just wanted a hooded sweatshirt. I just was like, if we end up going someplace where I see people, like I can put my hood over my head.
You can hide better that way, or you could blend in with the crowd.
I don't know what I was somewhere. I just was looking forward to getting together with her and didn't really think about getting dressed up, I guess. But she has sparked a little bit of okay, come on. It's fall. I've been going through my clothes and stuff.
Yeah.
So we had a stoop sale yesterday.
And how'd that go? Did you sell a lot of things? Any weird characters? What happened there?
Yeah, I've been getting rid of stuff. I'm purging and selling stuff very cheap just because I feel like it's going to end up getting donated.
Just get rid of
But
it.
so was talking to a guy in the neighborhood, and he, how like, I don't know if this happens in your neighborhood. I don't know if this happens to you, but
You don't have that in your family?
yeah, right. Like people will jump to either political or religious things to see where you stand, like very quickly in the conversation.
No, it doesn't happen here.
Are you on my side on this?
It's a check.
One woman before this guy, one woman started talking about a Bible verse in the middle. We were talking about something, and she just said, well, God willing, and went into something, and I just stood there and I said, well, it is a beautiful day, isn't it? So this other guy comes and I guess he gets the gist that I'm on his side politically, that I don't like Trump. So he says, I have some QAnon people in my family and it's really sad. And he said, listen, this isn't even the craziest part. They think there's 4 Bidens.
Oh my God.
And I just like, when I go, I started laughing. I go, what? He goes, yeah, they think that there's like 4, like there's, like the fake Melania story.
Yeah.
That there's 4 and they know, which ones are which.
Oh my God, the shit that's going through people's heads, like where they conjure up this shit.
I start laughing and he goes, oh, that's not even the craziest part. I go, I don't want to. I said, that's enough. I'm good.
Everything, I know we sound like old ladies when we say this shit because we know where we stand, but it's getting annoying now. Like everything is politicized. Everything is the new pronouns we have to use, like sexually speaking, or genders wise speaking.
Is that like a thing that's in your school now, or?
That's happening here too, but even like within the Spanish language, they're trying to like recreate words and that kind of thing. Of course, I'm not being insensitive to that either, but it's like everything is taken so offensively, no matter if it's comedy or, all of that. COVID, where do you stand? And I've been having like these conversations with people who are like, it never was this bad. So I had like a dark thought the other day. I was like, I kind of envy people in their 90s or so now, people on their way out, I'm kind of starting to envy. I know, does that sound bad? Not because I want to be dead, but I just think this is a good time to die. Like,
Like when you hear about somebody that passes away, you're like, they're going to a better
it's
place.
been long enough. Yeah, like
Wherever they're going, it's not here.
it's like people now who are retiring at my job. I'm like, well, this is a good time for them to retire because we just started learning how to teach with the masks and do this computer shit, and they don't have to deal with that. Like they've seen the good part, and now it's over.
My mother
I feel like
retired.
that with people,
My mother retired November 2019, and she works at the hospital. So she was like, boy, did I retire at the right time. And then like a couple of months later, when cases started to pick up and they needed people, they asked her if she wanted to come back. It was like, no. I worked there for 45 years or something. She worked at the hospital 40 some years. She was like, no, I'm done. I'm retired.
It's like, it's a good time to just go now because you have to deal with all this, like, I don't know, I feel like you maybe have witnessed the best part. It's only going downhill from now. Is that dark? I shouldn't go that far. There is light at the end of the tunnel.
I don't know. But I know what you mean.
Like, can't you just have like a stoop cell without having to talk about like Trump? Like, it's just so stupid. Do you know what I mean? Like,
right. I didn't mind that. Yeah, it was just funny how what if I said that I like Trump? Was he gonna walk away? You know what I mean? Like,
it's like,
I
I
don't
don't bring it up. Although I find it funny. Sorry, go ahead.
Well, he was interesting because he's kind of like Ronnie in that way, where he really tries to have conversations with these people because I don't mean like these people, but he really tries to communicate with them. And he says, and then you're online and they start fighting and it gets so heated. And I'm like, well, are you arguing with people online about politics? And he goes, well, I try to have a conversation. And I was like, well, good for you, man, because I wouldn't even engage online with people, you have to, and I give it to him. He was a former teacher. He said, you have to keep trying to communicate. And
that's why they censor, they take away all the comment sections on everything slowly because people can't even say, I like this video. Like if you say, I like this video, it's going to be, I mean, I'm sure you've done this, or an article, you read the comments because it's somewhat entertaining. And then you'll start seeing like, if you scroll down far enough, it ends off with somebody telling another person to fuck off. Like,
you like open them up and like people start going back. And you're like, oh my gosh. Yeah, I think that's what he was saying, that he does that. And
nah.
I said, I can't. What else happened this week?
Well, yesterday being, not to get into this so much, but the 9/11 anniversary, the 20th anniversary. It's funny to me how like some people I know who are from New York that I keep in touch with, like here or there or whatever, like they'll write me and be like, today's the 20th and no, they don't say, do you know? They're like, today's the 20th anniversary of the attacks and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, do people think that because I'm living in a different country that I have no idea like what day of the year it is or how that like, I just feel like sometimes people might think like, just because I'm not physically there, it doesn't mean that I have no concept. My family does that to me a lot. They're like, you don't know, you're not here. Like we are connected.
Because I feel like and I've said this to you, I feel like you pay attention to what goes on here way more than I pay attention to what goes on in Spain. And well, it's because you're from
That's
here.
because I'm from, yeah.
But I always I think you stay very much on top of what's going on.
But even if I didn't, like I know what day it is. Like
so I got a phone call from somebody on Friday, and I did, I was here by myself. And I did watch some of the documentaries, and I always, listen, like, it's just not, I don't know if I'll ever shake not spending the day thinking about the day. or even like the day leading up to it, right? So I get this phone call and he's like, hey, very energetic, how you doing? Blah, blah, blah. I go, I'm okay. Like, I think I had paused the documentary to take the phone call. You know what I mean? And he goes, why? What's going on? And I was just, actually, I felt like, I don't know, just this time of year, like, you know, like, I guess I just assumed that you think a New Yorker is a little somber on September 10th and 11th, or I don't know.
Yeah.
Or you wouldn't like be like, why? What's going on? I don't
So
know.
there is some unawareness. Well,
So maybe, but, and I just thought it was funny that he acted that way too, because was here and, you know, he's been, you know, it's funny, a lot of people that live here now weren't even here.
yeah,
Or,
that's true too.
you know, like, but not him. So I thought it was kind of weird that he didn't know why I was like, I'm all right. You know, I don't like faking, you know, when people say like, how are you? I don't like, oh, I'm great. When you know, yeah, I'm honest. I'm honest to a fault.
I started watching in the impeachment, speaking of politics.
Should I watch it?
Why not? I mean,
Okay.
it's
All
not,
right.
I mean, obviously only one episode's been out. It's not, and we already know what happens and how it goes down, but it's entertaining enough. But you know how I told you that I always am the one who like stops the show and I have to start like commenting on things? You know, I do that. Like,
Well, at least you don't talk through the show.
well, I used to, but then I got told that if I had anything to say, I should stop it. The tables have turned because the other day through this show, Eduardo like made several remarks and I was like, you want me to stop it? So I stopped it for him to say like, why does that always happen on TV? Like, does that happen in real life? Like, I don't remember the exact scene. I think it was like Monica Lewinsky picks up the telephone and it's like Linda Tripp telling her to meet her somewhere. So imagine this. It's like, all right, I'll meet you at such and such bar at 3:00. And then you see like click. And so I had to stop it because he said, like, no one ever says goodbye on the telephone, like on TV. Do you ever notice that? They just like stop conversation and hang up the phone.
I never noticed that.
I have, actually. It's true. You'll see like these phone conversations that no one actually goes, okay, bye, like, see you there, bye. No, it's just like,
I said what I said.
yeah,
I'm now gonna pay attention to that. I've never
pay
noticed
attention
that.
to that.
Oh,
So I
now
said, I'm filing that right up there with other things that happen on TV that are totally fake. And this is from his point of view because he's not American, although he lived there for several years. People eating these giant like pancake, eggs and bacon breakfasts like midweek. Like, you know, they're all sitting around the table on a school day, like mother making pancakes. I'm like, I don't know one person who ever ate like that, like pretty much ever, but let alone like midweek, like on a Tuesday, we're all sitting around baconing, eggsing it
yeah,
up.
no, my mom didn't make pancakes or like what was the other French toast? Like that was like a weekend thing.
Yeah, and not even every weekend, like sometimes, but otherwise you're getting cereal, like.
Right. Yeah.
It's
All
just
right.
those little things. Start paying attention to those things, how they're portrayed. It's like,
Okay. That's funny. The phone call thing is funny though. I'm now
or
every
the shoes on the couch, you know, like you get on the couch and people put like, you never see that, like people are sitting on the couch and they've got full shoes on and stuff.
no, that would drive me insane. We know that. That's a huge pet peeve. That's people do that. Well, I watch one of these home shows where like the real estate agent goes through the house and she's like perching herself on everything as she talks about the property. Those are really fun. But there was we were watching a show last night and Ronnie was saying something like, yeah, he was picking apart like the realistic versus the not realistic things. I was like, will you just enjoy it?
What was it? Do you remember what the point was?
Well, I've already watched the season 1, but I'm watching it again. It's the Wu-Tang
Oh yeah,
American drama. American Saga, I'm sorry. It's on Hulu, but it was like an FX thing. I don't know if you can get it. The first season's amazing. So I already watched it because the second season is coming out now. I watched that. So I told Ronnie he has to watch it. And I said, I'm happy to watch it all over again with him. It's so good. I really like it a lot.
So what was he, was he
Oh, like,
commenting on the inaccuracies?
And what was positive is the fashion, is the way they the outfits are just like, so that's exactly what we were wearing. And I can't remember what it was, like a silly detail. I can't remember it right now.
Oh, okay.
Anyway.
Did you pause it when he said this, or you just let him talk through it?
He paused it to talk about something, I remember.
Oh, he paused it. That was.
He did, you know, he'll pause it if he has something to say. Yeah, no. And it was funny because he paused it to get his thought out. And then when he unpaused it, it went to the commercial break. And I'm like, you should have just waited. Because it's like those streaming services force you to sit through a thing. Yo, the streaming services now are so confusing. It's so crazy. I don't know what. I think we're probably going to get rid of cable and just, but then I think because people are doing that, they're making you sign up for like every single
the subscriptions.
channel. So I don't know. But there is a movie that I'm trying to find and I can't, Zola, my friend told me I have to watch it.
I never heard of that one. What's that?
It's out now. So I think like it was on a pay-per-view and then it said I could get it through Amazon Prime, or no, maybe it wasn't. It was another one of those services, but it said you had to pay for it even through a service that I have. And I was like, wait a minute, I already have this service.
Oh, you haven't seen that on Amazon? You go to click on something that's like, if you want to rent this, I'm like, wait a second. Or Apple TV too does that. I know.
Yeah, they have like, now they've got tiers.
You can get all the shit for free. Stop threatening me that ET is going to be taken off like in 30 days.
I was going to show you a plant because I did watch during our hiatus. I watched some of our older episodes and I saw this one plant and it was so little because I looked over and I was like, oh my gosh, it's gotten so much bigger. And then there was another. So these are some of the weird plants that I own. Like that when I remember when I showed them to you the first time, they were very strange looking plants, like unique leaves or whatever. Okay, so the first one was a donkey tail. Do you remember?
I don't remember the names. You'll have
like burro's tail. It's a succulent. Okay, hold on.
Oh, okay.
You're gonna remember it when I gotta be careful. Woo!
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Do you remember this one?
Yeah.
Put it in this pretty bowl.
I especially remember the nice vase.
The nice little, it's a bowl. It's like this weird.
It's very cool.
So look at that one there. So if you remember whenever this was, it was very short and now these are just like pouring out of the, okay, so that's this one. It's a little bald on top, but it's getting better. That's what it does. It just kind of like pours out of the.
Your plants are looking good. Mine are all droopy and looking bad, even with water. I don't know what I'm doing wrong, but
this one is a little funky. The Monstera is a little funky. Okay, hold on. I'm sorry I'm not completely like have them right next to me. I should be more prepared. Hold on. So this next one is kind of a similar thing. When I showed it to you, when I first bought it, it was really small. I'm going to sit down. Okay, I'm back. Hi. So this is called a Hindu rope. This is like a Hoya. And these are like, like this is how it grows.
I don't remember that at all. That one.
No, it was very small. And I even put it in a little bit of a bigger pot, but
that's a weird one.
It's finally starting to grow out of I've got two longer ones, but there's also, I could see there's like two more spots where it's going to start growing out, like these long. And so these leaves, I don't know if you can see it, they kind of just spiral around the stem.
Yeah.
So the stem grows, and then see how we're getting a new leaf here, this little guy, and it'll kind of just curl around. It's such a crazy plant. Isn't it cool?
I think it's cool too, how they're all surviving near one another, because I've been reading about how sometimes you can't do that. You can't have the variety you have like in the same room.
Well, it's good to keep plants together though, because they're, groupings, because then they are sharing the same oxygen or whatever they give off.
Yeah, carbon dioxide.
Yeah, that it's good for them to be together. So you mean like different types of plants?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, so I keep certain ones in the window, and then some of these other ones are a little bit further away, but I kind of try to group them, I guess. But okay, all right, plant.
I wonder how those plants would have done like years ago, living with roommates who smoked. I bet you they would have not done that well.
I don't think I ever had a lot of light, and as much as, there's a lot of light from
Like
this
cigarette smoke, you know what I mean? Like just.
Oh, I never let a roommate smoke cigarettes in the apartment.
Oh,
Right?
really? I don't know that. I didn't know that.
I don't know. I can't stand, so that's worse than the other.
Yeah,
smoke.
I'm saying maybe in their own room.
Oh, maybe. Ugh, that's the worst smell. I can't stand
It
cigarette smoke.
sticks on everything, but I'm saying if you have plants, that probably can't be good, cigarettes.
I can't remember. I always had this like little jade plant when I worked at my office job. And that's probably the only plant I ever really had. Somebody gave me an orchid once, and I was like, you think I'm going to be able to keep this thing alive? Like,
Those are nice, but then, yeah, they don't.
yeah, I know that you just leave it and it doesn't flower, and it's just like these leaves, and I don't know. They're very they're their own thing too.
I had one of those like 2 years ago, really nice, killed that.
Like, did you try to keep it alive after the flower died and it never flowered again?
Well, maybe that's where I went wrong. I'm like, this doesn't look good anymore.
Because once the flower dies, like the plant's still alive until it flowers again, but it's like, well,
Okay, so then let me show you this, because maybe you know what this is supposed
show
to
a
be.
plant? Okay, cool.
Because I don't know. Okay, hardy plant, I don't know what the name of it is, but this part was very tall and red and kind of rubbery sort of and thick.
Yeah. And
Okay,
then
now it's obviously died and it's, it's all dried.
Yeah.
What am I supposed to do? Just keep watering it and eventually it comes back to
turn
life?
it a little, turn it. I would probably, that's the flower right there. Turn it.
Yeah.
So I would probably take it out and give it some space, because once you remove the dead part, it's going to give.
How do you do that though without cutting it?
Cut it.
It won't ruin it?
We'll cut the dead part. Right? You know what I mean? Don't, like, I would cut like where, with like a sterilized knife or scissors, like, put some rubbing alcohol on them or whatever, and just cut where it's dead, like, you know what I mean, like in there, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because it'll do that once a year, that flower.
Yeah, I figured that.
What's it? It's I'm trying to think of the name. I have one of those. Oh, I'm trying to think of the name of it.
I'm like a bad. What is it?
Bromeliad.
Okay. I'm like a bad mother. I'm like, you're ugly. I don't need you anymore. Get rid of it. Once the flower, I'm like, this, I can't be.
No, I think it'll do that once a year. It'll flower.
All right. Well, yeah, that's all right. So I guess I'll keep it.
Keep it through. See if you can keep it through the winter, and I think in the spring it should start to have another growth.
I bought that in IKEA, I think, believe it or not.
Bromeliads. They're hardy. It should live.
Okay.
All right.
Your terminology.
Yeah, I'm such an expert. But this feels like a success with this guy, because I thought I talked about this one before. It was super, like, just like little guys, like all, I probably bought it like cuttings or whatever, very small. And I thought,
probably did. I don't remember, but it's very cool.
What is this crazy plant?
Kind of looks like my hair.
Your hair looks amazing. I
The
love it.
shape of my
Oh,
head.
also, saw this old, we go way back to 2020, and your hair was so straight. I think you were like blow drying it.
Yeah, once I started, I don't know, probably you were watching something really old because
Yeah.
I think once the summer hit, I was like, I'm gonna stop combing my hair and just letting
But
it dry.
were blow drying
Yeah.
it straight. Yeah, I remember when you just didn't, and you were like, "Oh, it's so crazy." I'm like, "No, that's what your hair naturally wants to do."
Everyone thinks I got somehow like either got a perm or did something weird because they're like, your hair is very straight. I'm like, no, that's what took time to do.
No, I used to do something weird.
Everyone's got a comment on everything. Mind your own business.
Tell me about it. Tell me about it.
Although, do you get upset when someone compliments you? Do you take it the wrong way and be like, well, was I ugly before? Like when someone goes, you look great, you lost a lot of weight. And it's like, oh, okay, so you're not telling me I look nice. You're telling me I look like shit before. Do you do that?
I can't think of an example, but I know what you mean. Well, if somebody tells me that I like, oh, you look good, and I have a hooded sweatshirt on, I'm like, you're lying.
Yeah, okay.
All right. How long did we talk long enough? I hear
But you said loud
hear
enough.
somebody I hear construction going on outside of this wall. I think we got to wrap it up. Somebody's drilling.
All right.
Next week, what's going on? We're in the middle of September here. Is the weather getting cooler?
Oh, yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, it's a little cooler this week.
Little bit.
I love this time of year.
Me too.
Yeah. All right.
All
We'll see
right.
you next week.
We will reconvene.
All right.
Okay. Bye.